Like, I almost got into a fight as a grown-ass man. Might have been 3 years ago. We were at a club in New York. We had a good-ass time. Nigga gonna cut me in line to get my jacket, man.
Because you be like, why does nigga think I'm the nigga to skip and use and tickets?
Right.
But I forgot you can't do that with a woman. You know what I mean? Because then that dude will take advantage of you. He'll take your pride in front of your lady. Like, you ever see a dude get his ass beat in front of his lady?
Oh wow!
Oh no, in front of his kids.
That's the worst story. I have a great story.
Yo, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Free Agents Podcast. And doing something a little different today. No bow tie. I lost the bow tie, as you can see. Just trying something different. And as always, I don't do this thing by myself. So let me go ahead and bring in all of my friends. Not all of them. Here we go. We're missing one right now. So what's going on, y'all? You muted, Ricky, by the way.
What I also realized too was the last part of you muted me, Derek, and part of the last part of the video was muted.
When did I mute you?
Somebody muted me.
Oh,
it wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
I don't know if they heard the recap video. Can we run that back real quick?
Yeah, let's run it back since we're waiting on somebody anyway. What's up, Mabel?
Let's run that recap video. Here we go.
Like, I almost got into a fight as a grown-ass man. Might have been 3 years ago. We were at a club in New York. We had a good-ass time. Nigga gonna cut me in line to get my jacket, man.
Because you be like, why does nigga think I'm the nigga to skip and use and tickets?
Right.
But I forgot you can't do that with a woman. You know what I mean? Because then that dude will take advantage of you. He'll take your pride in front of your lady. Like, you ever see a dude get his ass beat in front of his lady?
Oh wow!
Oh no, in front of his kids.
That's the worst story. I have a great story.
All right.
So after we started it, I realized you didn't mute me.
Oh, it mutes itself.
Everybody. I was like, why am I muted? I hope me play this anyway. Whatever.
It's all good. I mean, hey, just in case you didn't see it, you saw it again. And if you want to know that story that Bel-Ami wants to tell, watch last week's episode.
Absolutely.
So
it's a hell of a story.
Yeah, it's a hell of a story. It involves eggs and all that other great stuff.
Crazy.
So,
crazy.
How y'all doing it this week?
Man, amazing. I'm feeling really, really good tonight. I'm always happy to see y'all. I'm just super fired. I'm trying to contain my energy right now. So I got my horn on standby.
Oh,
so
shoot.
Anytime I feel good, instead of me screaming in the microphone, I'm just, that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, I need to get my sound effects game popping, bro. I've been saying this for since the beginning of the year, but that's definitely something I'm gonna have next week.
Nice.
Definitely.
What is that? What are you playing that off of?
This is an app I downloaded, man.
Okay.
It's random sounds. It goes from air horns all the way to farts. So and everything in between. Cloud applauses and everything. So I use a lot of that in my videos. So I'm feeling good, man. I'm happy to see y'all, man. Like I said, y'all are just, you know, that's in my agenda. I always have like things set up from workout, family time, business. But you know, like having y'all in my schedule makes me feel like I have something super excited to look forward to. So I'm just happy to see y'all, man. Honestly.
Nice. By the
Mabel,
way, yeah. Go
Mabel
ahead.
says that those noises give us NYC folks funk flex PTSD. He did stay with some noises.
Random noises. I love it.
Although I felt like what I felt was interesting, like since we're on this subject, like because you know he does the Funk Flex bombs, but didn't DJ Clue drop bombs before Funk Flex? Who dropped the bombs first?
DJ Clue. Now I don't know. All of them. It was just a bomb drop era.
Exactly. Everybody right. After every song.
So,
how about you,
right.
man? How you feeling, man?
How you finding freedom, DJ Star?
How am I finding freedom? Let's say I'm trying to find freedom. Let's just define it like that.
Okay.
What up, Delbert? BJ's in the building. So yeah, I'm trying to find freedom right now. It's a struggle. But I mean, I will say this though. Schedules. Like this week I'm on a new schedule and it has been working. Like you don't realize how much time you have until you put stuff into a schedule, and then you're just like, man, I could do all that in one day. And I was taking like all week to do it. So I will say the schedule thing has been working, but you know, there's some other things that just need to work out.
Yeah.
So.
Man, you know, your hat actually should give you a little bit of motivation, man, when you're trying to find
definitely freedom. Yes.
You know, you dream big. That's how you find it. Like, you know what I mean? Don't try to contain it. Just go ahead and dream big. So you already got it. You know what I'm saying? And anytime you're dreaming, you know, you have the capability to create whatever you want, especially if you're like in a lucid dream, which is, I love those dreams. Where I can be like, ooh, I'm gonna walk over here and see what's happening. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah.
You ever had those lucid dreams where you just like, you're consciously awake in your dream and you can, I love like a walk
around it.
So
yeah.
So what's crazy is like I think I had this conversation with Bel-Ami one time about like lucid dreaming. So I get these dreams when like I feel like I'm awake, but I know I'm asleep, but I feel like I'm awake, but then I can't wake up. And so then I got to force myself to wake up because like if not, I just stay in this dream state and I don't like it. Like I don't feel comfortable in it. So I'm like, and so then like I had to be like in my head, I'm like I gotta squeeze my eyes real tight, and then I gotta try to open them. But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like sleep paralysis. Not sleep paralysis though.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know if it's lucid dreaming because I know, like I think I'm awake, but then I know I'm asleep because weird stuff happens. I'm like, yeah, this is a dream. But then I'm just like, all right, I'm tired of like being in this state. I want to wake up. Right. And so yeah.
That's really like that's a whole nother conversation, but like the conscious is tapping into the subconscious, you know what I mean? When you intentionally do it, that's when you're like intentionally lucid in your lucid dreaming. You'll be able to go between all three states of conscious, super subconscious, and subconscious. You know what I'm saying? But when you actually know that, okay, I'm in this subconscious state, let me transition into it. Honestly, it's nothing more than a breath. They teach you this in the shamans I used to hang out with. They said like if you really want to go into your super subconscious, it's all about the breath. But you know, in the midst of you being aware that you're in your super subconscious mind state where you're able to move around, like intentionally breathe and say, okay, now I want to be conscious, and then you can pop right in and out of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I had to remember that next time I'm asleep.
Yeah. Remember it while you sleeping.
Bro, where do shamans just hang out, bro?
Yo, I'm finding the more
nigga.
Yeah, pretty much. Follow the drums. Literally, but I'm finding like the more. I mean, I think that obviously there's a club for everybody and everything nowadays.
Yeah,
you're right.
And as soon as you tap into it, you realize, man, they're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Because there are places and you wouldn't expect them to be. You know, in little groups and not huts, so say, but just little places. You'd be like, oh man, the shamans hang out over here. And I don't know if you ever had opportunities to go into a meeting, for lack of a better term, instead of saying seance, people say seance, you get all weird, but it's an amazing experience, man. You know, like you completely get the opportunity to be free everybody there is intentionally free. You know, I mean, some people go into the medicinal stuff and the shrooms.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, have you done ayahuasca?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Because I want to.
Yeah, bro. We gotta talk about this.
Yes, like yeah. Now we about to jump into like this is about to be the whole entire podcast.
It's the funny thing is I didn't even know what it was when I was in LA doing it. I had no idea because I guess the cats I was hanging with assumed that I was already in it because I was talking the talk, right? And after we were done, I was like, "That's what that was." It was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Ooh, let's do that again," you know.
Yeah.
But I've learned to like not tap into it like that, but it's just really, really is a conscious state of mind and allowing yourself to be free, breathe into it. You can do the you know, whatever drugs you want, so say, but your brain is able to go there without all the extra stuff. If you really, really like learn how to tap into it and allow yourself to embrace yourself, that you can transition like not easily, but it takes a lot of focus, you know. So, but I got a good friend of mine who has all the teas and all the drugs and all that stuff, and step by step to transition into this whole another dimension.
Let's talk to your friend. Let's hook that up, bro.
Okay.
Is your friend a shaman?
Is your friend in Houston?
No, he's in Colorado.
Yeah. Is he a shaman though?
No, he's not an official shaman, but he's going through the whole process of doing it. But that's all he does.
I'll wait till he's completed. Messing with my mind. I need to make sure that you know exactly what you are.
Hey man, try this.
No, so like there is this one shaman. I was listening to another part. Oh, go ahead.
Can I tell you how I'm finding freedom? I ain't get my chance.
Oh yeah. I don't think Ricky even said how he's finding freedom.
I was excited, just popped in. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
I thought we was finding freedom. I just wanted to go. I want to talk about a couple things.
Oh, go ahead.
Excited.
Oh.
You know,
finally got somebody joining our party.
Woke up the other morning, did a workout with my brother, Ricky Getwood Jr., Mr. RPGM himself, and like I found freedom in that, man, because I haven't been in a workout that was led by someone else in a while, and in that I realized that I could find new limits and just push past my own personal limits that I would give myself. And so I'm finding freedom by allowing others to lead sometimes.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
That's deep, man.
So thank you. That was, and it was so, I thought I was late because you sent the text early and I didn't get up until a little bit later. I was like, oh man, I'm hoping not too late. I tried to FaceTime, but you was in the middle of the workout. You was like, into this. I was like, come on, let's go. So yeah, man.
You know, actually saying that, so like one thing about my schedule, I decided to do this while I was texting you like the different time. I pushed up my schedule because like now my kids get up early, so I'm like I need to get up earlier. So now I've been getting up at 5, and that has been a game changer. Like it's only 30 minutes before I normally get up, but it is really like maybe more productive. Like I can finish my entire workout and everything, like all my like meditation and all that stuff before like 7 o'clock.
That's what's up, man. I want to piggyback on what he said, man. Like, I'm always trying to evolve and discover my freedom every single day. You know, I like to feel uncomfortable every single day. Okay, that's how I grow. And I tell people that all the time. The only way I learn how to grow and be Ricky is to every single day I have to do something that makes me uncomfortable, right? So allowing somebody to work out with me sometimes makes me uncomfortable, which is why I was like, I called y'all. I was like, come on, let's just get on. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like as a trainer, as a coach, you expect it to be in tip-top shape, look the best and all that stuff. And I'm like, no, it makes me uncomfortable to not be in tip-top shape, look my best. So let me get online with my brothers right quick. And I just did it. It was like logged on, sweaty, no shirt. I had my sauna belt on, but it was like, you know what I mean? Sweat dripping all over the place. Huh?
It was a good workout.
It was a killer workout. You know what I mean?
I was only on there for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, you had other stuff, but I still went and I continued my workout. I did them damn sprints that almost took me out. But you know what I'm saying? I needed it. That was crazy, man. How you finding freedom today?
I just had to do that right quick. You on mute, bro.
I'm muted.
Oh, there you go. You unmuted. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
My mic sound nice.
My mic sound nice.
Check one.
Yeah, man. You know, I feel my freest when I'm around y'all. You know what I mean? So defining freedom is awkward these days because I feel like I'm walking in my freedom when I'm around y'all. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like I'm fighting for my freedom when I'm not around you all. You know what I mean? And so I think I'm defining freedom by giving myself time. You know what I mean? Giving myself time to make mistakes, giving myself time to correct those mistakes, and more importantly, giving myself time to get to the space where I want to be. I think we're constantly trying to get places, and if we're not there, we get upset, and we don't always give ourselves permission to have time to get there. So I'm defining freedom by something you can never get back, by time, you know? So
That was deep, man.
That's
I love it when we all go deep. It warms my heart, man. I ain't gonna lie. I want to cry right now.
Yo, Ricky, man, I saw that picture of you with the 6-pack, 8-pack, 12-pack.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, why do I look just like the other dude right now? You know what I'm saying? Why do I look just like him? So yeah, I gotta get back. You know,
Man,
so
that's all about manifesting. I'm sorry, go ahead. What you saying?
No, it had nothing to do with that. But speaking of like before and after pictures, it's just something I don't trust people who put the before picture on the right side and put the after picture on the left side. I don't trust you. It just is bad.
Why?
It's just like you don't. I don't know. I don't trust you. I can't trust you to make good decisions about just other people. You don't take other people in consideration when you put your before picture on the right side. I need to see the before and after, not the after and before. I'm sorry.
You know what I don't like about people, man. I hate it when they
You clearly have a lot of these. I'm gonna put a bunch of clips together of all of you. Of all of your pet peeves.
You know my pet peeve? You know when a woman has a nice bag on her shoulder, but then the other arm is just going 90 miles an hour and then messes up the flow of the other back? That's my pet peeve.
Interesting.
You mean to tell me you can't swing with both arms at the same tempo? Man.
You know what I hate? I don't like women with furry boots in Texas.
What's the point? I agree.
Serve a purpose. Like,
or even Uggs.
Hey, I thought he was gonna say he don't like women with furry booties. I was like, hey, that's one to grow on, man.
Furry booties? Have you ever encountered one of these?
A furry booty?
I mean, it may not be furry on the booty, but in the, you know what I'm saying, in the areas.
Gap appreciator in you.
Hey, gap appreciator. Exactly, man. Hey.
Harry booty holes.
I just want to acknowledge we do got people in here.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, people?
By the way, Reese is budgeting.
I don't mean to offend Maybell. What up, MR? Rodriguez, what's going on, homie?
Of course, Reese gives us
Reese.
Yeah.
I love that Reese magic. Oh, by the way, this is something we haven't officially said, but I'm gonna say it. Anybody who's on the podcast and like tonight, right now, you say that you get a free consultation. That's it. So
come on, look at that.
Wait, no, say this again because I want my free consultation. What do we got?
Hell yeah, I'm sitting right here,
nigga. Yeah. So if you are on our podcast tonight, like tonight, right now, I'm a in the moment type person. You ask for it, you're going to get it. So Reese, you got it.
All right, no. Let's
live on air.
Huh?
Would you give them a consultation live on air?
Nah.
If they're up to it. I mean, it depends on what they want.
I feel like Ricky gonna be like, "What do you like to eat? Cheesecake? You know that's 1,700 calories, girl."
Fuck out of here!
Can't work with you.
Do you know what's in that bullshit?
Yeah, man. I was supposed to do one with you live. I was supposed to do one with you where you're gonna talk to me because I've been thinking about you, man. I've been thinking about you. Cause like I've been having some problems with work and I keep turning to fried chicken, collard greens, macaroni and cheese.
that ain't gonna do it.
And I'm like, this ice cream ain't gonna get me over my problems. You know what I
Speaking
mean?
of ice cream, Ricky, what you posted was so I never thought about that.
What?
Spell
desserts?
It's
Desserts.
Oh, dessert.
Desserts. Deserts.
desert.
I know.
But desserts.
But you know how you can always know how to spell desserts. And thanks to my homegirl Adila, who told me this years ago. We don't keep contact. If she happens to watch this, I'm shouting you out. Like you can always. I was like, does dessert have one S? She was like, desserts has two S's because you always want more.
Ooh, see,
I can remember.
two
And
S's.
but backwards, it does spell stress.
You're stressed.
And
Well, I think though that like desserts help me not to stress.
lying to yourself, sir.
You're totally lying.
Hey.
Speaking of which, I found some ice cream. Actually, not even ice cream, it's avocados, and it's called Cado. I've been eating that. Where it's just it's avocado cream, but it's chocolate. It's supposed to taste like ice cream. It's all right.
You're disgusting.
Well, you know, now you could do what they call
Bananas.
Banana. Yeah.
I'm looking at one of those, but like they gotten expensive, man. They used to be cheap. People are done caught on to it. Now it's like, you know.
Or just Ben Jerry's non-dairy. It is amazing.
No, have you read the amount of sugar in Ben and Jerry's non-dairy?
No.
Yeah, read it.
It's just,
That's where I went. But there's this new ice cream out called Nick's.
Halo Top has
No, but they don't have vegan. They don't
Why
have
don't
vegan.
y'all just do gelato? There's no milk fat.
It's made with eggs and it's got a ton of sugar in it too.
And a ton of soy too.
The idea is not to
listen, we getting too picky with desserts. Like,
I'm not trying to stress, man. I'm not trying to stress.
Be stressed. The whole point is to be stressed. The reason you're going to it is because you're stressed.
True.
Yeah,
I give you that.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna say that.
Tell the people what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, stress backwards is alcohol.
Yes.
Oh man! All right, we're gonna be all night with this. What are we talking about tonight?
I guess we're not gonna do. You want to do the rules? We don't really have an order. And then I pulled up our notes, and I was like, oh shoot, there's a whole bunch of other stuff I didn't even think about. Like we had the whole Texas abortion situation, Joe Rogan.
Listen,
the video's uploaded. Shut up.
Before we get into it, let me just go over these house rules real quick.
Yeah.
And the house rules, look, here on the Free Agents Podcast, we aim to facilitate conversation. We want to learn from you. We want to learn from each other. And that's the whole purpose of this place where we can all speak freely. And, that's the one rule we have here. Think and speak freely at all times, because we're going to do it. We encourage you to do it as well. As a matter of fact, if you would like, we are inviting you, and this is the only podcast that I know of that will allow this to happen. If you can find another one, go find it and don't tell us, because we don't. But if you use that link that I popped in your chat, that gets you into the VIP section. You can come right back here and we can have a conversation face to face. Whatever you want. If you agree with what we got to say, if you disagree, one thing that we will always do and we encourage you to do and give you the platform to do so is think and speak freely. That's the one rule here on the Free Agent Podcast. Cool.
That's right. What up? Sheree is in the building.
Ray. All
right. So where we want to start? I mean, those are some old topics from earlier this week, and then we got some brand new topics from like today.
Brand new.
Let's first I guess let's pay some respects. So first up is remembering George Floyd 1 year later. Yeah, I thought about like where I was a year ago, and I was in a whole totally different space. And like having to deal with what happened to George Floyd, because I remember at the time I was newly named executive director of this organization, and and so then it was like, so are we going to say something? Are we going to make a statement? And and all the protests and stuff started happening, and the rioting started happening, and so I decided to make a video. I put a video together, and just really spoke from the heart about like the situation and everything's going on, and like ideally the thing is, because I think a lot of people started getting mad at people because they chose not to post stuff on social media.
Mhm.
But my thing was, it's like, personally, I don't care if you post or not. That's not the whole point. The thing is just to have the conversations. So like, don't be afraid to have the conversation. So that's the one thing that I remember a year ago during this time, is this idea that like we finally began to start having real conversations about like what's been happening, and those conversations have been going on as well. But you know, have we made progress? George Floyd's brother said yes. That's what I read in an article today. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to say it real quick. We always say real quick in these 90 minutes, but you know, number one, I'm amazed at how time goes by so quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're in it, you're just like, yo, it's a drag, it's tough, everybody's emotional, you know what I mean? And it just seems like, you know, it's the slowest and hardest time ever, right? And then now it's like when you put that out yesterday, I was like, yo, it's actually been a whole year already. That's crazy, you know. And the other thing is that like when something tragic happens, I think it's the most amazing yin and yang to life, because obviously it's the good and the bad, but then you're also able to have like this huge like rush of emotions. But as time goes on, it's like a filtering process to see who is really serious about, you know, what they were talking about in the heat of the moment. You know what I mean? It's like, so the people, I will say that, you know, we have evolved enough to where people can still kind of talk about it and make small changes.
Yeah.
But like we talked about it in a couple of shows before, it's like, yo, like investing a little bit of time here and there, and it takes years to get to a place where you see any type of change. You know what I'm saying? So the changes that maybe as an individual we're expecting may not be huge, but I think collectively, I think it's like chipping away at a freaking oak tree. You just got to keep hitting that same spot over and over and over until it falls apart. So I see small changes. I see people opening up and talking about it, but just that the whole situation just made me think of how valuable time really is. You know what I mean? Like, just think about it. It's a whole year. It's like 12 months has gone by, and what have you accomplished in 12 months for yourself first?
Ooh, yeah.
You know, and then look at the situation, like what has happened because of that situation. You know what I mean? So that's just my 2 cents on that. Bel-Ami, you muted.
That, you know, they say the wheels of justice turn slow. So, you know, have we made progress? Perhaps in areas, but we've also regressed in others. And you know, it's been so divisive. I would maybe divisive isn't the word. It's been so polarizing, and you know, it allows for us to it's kind of like, you know, when it rains, the worms come up. You know, they come to the surface, and that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. If the worms are in power, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna make everything slimy. And
But what are you saying is divisive?
the whole
the verdict of the verdict,
just the act itself, and seeing people's response, right, and how people respond to that being something that is in the forefront of you know, the social dialogue. And people pick sides, and we're starting to see, oh crap, like you way over there. I thought we were much closer than that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the response, you get a bill passed, but you also get these other things. You know, it's like, oh crap, well, we're losing a little bit of power. So now we're gonna start doubling down on abortion rights. We're gonna start doubling down on gun rights. We're gonna start doubling down on these other areas where, because we feel like we're losing a grip, you know, in certain other areas. So there's progress. There's always progress, but there's always a little bit of regression as well.
Okay, I think it's the yin and yang. Like Reese said, well, slimy. You said the worms, but it also made me think, if the worms never come up, the birds can't eat.
That's true. That's true. Come on now. And
you know what I mean?
the table says here something. 3 people a day on average, about 1,000 have been killed by police in the last year. So I don't know if that's progress at all.
Yeah, and that was like one of the statistics that were happening like during the trial. Like since the trial, it's been going, like it's still like that's the thing, is like it's still happening, and not at an unalarming rate. Like it's an alarming rate. So,
well, usually when like if you're, I don't know, what is it? If something happens to you, if there's something foreign, like you get stabbed or something, right? It's really, really hurt right after. Like it's gonna be even more pain than the stab itself. That's what your body's response. It's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then it slowly settles back down. And then you get a scab and you get your stitches and then it heals. You get a scab. And then eventually you're talking about how you got stabbed at one time. And so I think right now, this is still a fresh wound. And this, these responses that we're having, it's still like, oh my God, I got stabbed. You know what I'm saying? This is the body shock response. And so, we'll see, man.
You know, something psychologically that happens, and I'm gonna try to paraphrase it. One of my friends talked about this. It's like when somebody notices a behavior, and if it's that behavior is already inside of you, only thing it does is makes you want to do that behavior more because you see somebody else who actually affirmed what you're already feeling. So when you talk about the increase of cop killings, maybe you had a racist white cop who have never killed a black person before, and then all of a sudden it's publicized and you see a white guy killing a black guy, then it's like, oh shoot, well, he did it. Now I'm finna go do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's only bringing out what's naturally in you already. You know what I mean? For most people, and it's the unfortunate part where it's like really weeding out. That's why I said before, weeding out the people who have good intentions and bad intentions. You really expose, everybody for who they truly really are.
Or it could be like, what's my lady who killed a young brother in the car? With you see it happen, and you're like, man, it didn't work for him because he didn't do it this way. He could have got away with it if. So now I'm in this position. I know I can get away with it if I pull my gun and yell taser. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. I think I know a year ago I was in a really, really, really dark place because of this stuff. And fortunately I had some friends reach out who and like you said, you were contemplating whether or not you should post something on behalf of your organization. But I had some friends who reached out just because they're friends. And, it just reminded me that not everybody is this. But at the same time, as a black man, I can't help but walk outside. And unfortunately, it's like oftentimes if I'm feeling a bit of discomfort in a certain environment, everybody's guilty until proven innocent. And unfortunately, that response that I take to all of this happening is probably how they look at us to begin with. And so I kind of have to step outside of myself and find ways to I don't know, forward the conversation, also to get my message out. I did it. I released a song called So Far that sadly had been written 2 years prior and was still relevant and will always remain relevant as long as we're in this predicament that we're in. Really, as long as black people are in this country. That's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, man. So I think it's about, and Ricky, man, just you have been a blessing in my life just because we never had conversations outside of just this year, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, but we were familiar with one another. But the whole reprogramming thing, it's like I have to find a way now. And what got me out of that space was saying, okay, I'm not the person who's going to post everything and be like, oh, everybody look, I'm posting a black
square
on IG, or I'm supporting this cause and this cause and this cause and this cause. No, that's not me. But I will say what I need to say through the method that I choose and the method that I think is most effective for me. And I'll do that in every case.
Nice.
I love that, man. And that's one thing when we talk about being our authentic, true selves. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, let's just say, hey, everybody, let's get together and do this thing. I'm all for that. But by yourself, when nobody else is around, who are you without anybody else's motivation or influence? I said it before on the show I did some gospel shows on. They asked me, am I about to protest? I'm like, yo, that's not really my thing. How I feel like I can help people be most effective is behind the scenes. Let's sit down and talk. Let's do a small group of people who actually really want to make a difference versus being seen in front of the masses. Because, like, yeah, you look good in front of everybody doing what, participating, but that's not who you really are. When you go home, all you can do is sit back and talk about what y'all did out there. Now, what are you doing when you by yourself? What are you doing, behind closed doors? That's who you really, really, truly are, So I love that. My idea of just completely reprogramming my thoughts of, no, I don't want to be that fake guy and get out there and just, I'm a boo-boo. No, I'm really more effective back here behind the scenes talking to you one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing yourself. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, Degrees had to go check on his dog, huh?
Probably.
What else we got?
What else do we got? We have sadly the passing of Paul Mooney. I believe it was age 79.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, of a heart attack.
Wow. 79.
Paul. Yo, he was really insightful.
Exactly.
I think of when I think of him, and when I think of like when you look at his stuff, like you can't help but see Chappelle on his tree. And because it's like I'm gonna make you laugh because this shit is so fucked up. You can't help but laugh. Sometimes at yourself, sometimes at the idea of what is happening. And I think I think that's really he's very bold in the way he did comedy. And I was watching the comedian Pierre was talking about how other comedians were afraid to align themselves with Paul Mooney because he was so practical. And I think we all, something inside of us always wants to be that person. We definitely admire that person. And we're like, man, we champion those people, who say everything that we think and say it in a way that we're like, oh, that's a good way of saying it. When I try to say it, it doesn't come out quite like that. And
funny saying it. Yeah.
So, and my first introduction to Paul Mooney was Chappelle Show, with Negro Damas. I didn't know that I'd been affected by his comedy because of all the other stuff he'd done.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So
that's what's up. I think that and somebody else asked me, one of my clients told me the other day, I'm a comedian. I was like, I don't think I'm a comedian, but I thought about this a long time ago. I personally believe that comedians are the best life coaches. Okay, on a surface level and on a very it's a relatable level because they telling real stories, but they're making you laugh about hurtful situations. And if you think about it, they're really programming your brain to laugh and smile in the worst and most fucked up situations. You know what I mean? And if you even if you just take that approach when you come out to reprogram your brain and try to find happiness in the midst of like chaos, it's like, yo, if you kind of look at everything as a sarcastic, experience, it may be traumatic, but it's also an experience. And if you can laugh your way through it just a little bit, it helps as you get through the situation.
Yeah.
A lot of time I've taken that approach. I may see the most, matter of fact, I was talking to y'all earlier about my dad and all that other stuff, and I'm laughing the whole time through it, but it's actually a really messed up situation.
Yeah.
But it's funny,
like, you have to laugh at your pain kind of situation. Like, you take everything, if you take it that way, if you don't take life too seriously, then you can live a lot longer.
Exactly.
So
and that's my process. When I think about Paul Mooney, that's what I learned. Listen to guys like him, and they giving you like real like topics and real information on people and their characteristics and some messed up situations if you listen. And I love the artistry of being able to like go really, really deep and then bring you back up to a laughing point and then smooth you. I mean, it's a real art to being a comedian. That's why I watch a lot of comedians now, just like, oh, that takes skill. The timing, the silence in between the transitions, and then to bring you up and bring you back down.
It's so crazy you say that. Literally, I was listening to a podcast. One of my favorite podcasts. I'll just go ahead and shout them out. It's called Flagrant 2, and Andrew Schultz is one of the main people on there, and he literally said the same thing. He's like, the thing about like the true artistry of comedy is that like they're going to take you on this journey, and they're going to take you and they're going to make you see something that could be like totally negative or just totally, twisted, and they'll still be able to find the funny in it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's the beauty of it. It's that like, there's still something there that's beautiful, or just to make you think like, oh, I never saw it that way. So, so when you said, like, literally he said it the same when you said it. So that was pretty cool. What's on your mind, Mr. You've been quiet. I mean, you've been in and out too, Mr. Elbow Greasy.
The dog got you,
yeah, you heard him. Did you hear him crying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's this joke. Like when I was in middle school, my mom put me on to this Richard Pryor stand-up, and he was live at Long Beach. The one live at Long Beach.
Okay.
And so that was our favorite one. We were watching like every Christmas. And he said this joke about how like one time he was at the dinner table with his aunties and grandma, and he just put some cocaine up his nose. And and grandma was like, "Boy, what you put up your nose?" "Oh, that's just cocaine, ma." Said, "Oh Lord, I ain't doing drugs, you doing drugs." And he ran to the toilet and started flushing down all his cocaine. He's like, "I'm flushing all down. I'm flushing all $1,700 worth of cocaine. I'm flushing down the toilet." She says, "How much was that cocaine?" "Oh, $1,700. You dumb motherfucker could have sold that shit back to the nigga you got it from." You know what I mean? Like he took you on a journey from I'm addicted to cocaine to I did it in front of my grandma. Right. She got mad at me. I thought I was doing the right thing by flushing down the toilet, disappointing her, but not selling it back to the person I got it from. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not talking about roller coasters and rhythms, man,
yeah.
Paul Mooney and Pryor, that's like white on rice. You know what I mean?
Man, so. You know what? Speaking of rhythms, like you made me think about something. When I was in LA, I was working at Guitar Center. Damon Wayans came to buy a drum set from me at Guitar Center. Right?
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was one of the most funniest things ever, and I was the only person they wanted to deal with him because, well, for whatever reason, some people were freaking out. So, and I was just being myself, being silly Ricky or whatever. And I came out of the bathroom and my hands were wet, and I shook his hand. I'm sorry, man, I didn't wash my hands yet, and he just started laughing. So that kind of sparked our thing. But he wanted a drum set, and I was like, "Dude, you don't play drums." He said, "No, I need a drum set to practice like my rhythm when I'm telling my jokes." I was like, "Never thought about that." Wow. Yeah. He was like, "Nah, I just want to be able to sit and play and then tell my jokes at the same time." You know what I mean? And so I actually went and helped him set his whole drum set up, and he just like, I don't know.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was like an amazing experience, but that's what made me think the whole rhythm and patterns of being able to tell a joke, and it's all timing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I cannot believe, but I also met Damon Wayans in the bathroom in LA. I swear to God.
We both met him in the bathroom.
Yo, and he has that joke, like, you ever meet someone in the bathroom, like, "Oh shit, Damon Wayans," and he's trying to shake his hand. He's at the urinal. So I remember seeing that joke and seeing him in the bathroom, like, "All right, what's up, dude?" You know what I mean? Looking the other way and shit. Because he was at UCLA balling, where I would be balling UCLA. So this is so crazy, man.
Right.
Speaking of bathrooms, I was at New York Penn Station, and this dude almost got in a fight with this other guy because he said that he was looking at his stuff. He's like, "Man, what you looking at my stuff for?" Or he looking at him use the restroom. He like, "You know, if you was in prison, you get shanked for that." I was like, "You know what? Wow. I'm gonna walk out of here."
That's cool. Never, ever.
I couldn't even use the restroom.
Never, ever go to the bathroom at New York Penn Station. That is a New York City rule. You
really?
Kidding me? What? The shit that goes down in New York City Penn Station bathroom?
Listen,
why?
Let me tell you something. When you drink as much water as Ricky got me drinking, you got to go to the restroom.
Reese says dirty hand icebreakers.
Exactly.
Guys are amazing.
What did Reese say? I cracked me on that.
I thought Cherie said that she also met David.
No.
You crazy?
What Cherie said? She said she met him in the bathroom.
She was just commenting about what you said.
I thought you like, dang, you met him in the bathroom too?
No, that's dead ass for real.
Like, that's interesting.
Like, one of y'all
Nah, man. Nah, it's just ironic. We got the same rhythm patterns. That's all. Me and Ricky.
There you go.
You know what I
There
mean?
you go. We
He's
on that
the
flow, man.
he's the after. I'm the before. You know what I mean?
So you saying we need to get Damon Wayans on the show? He already knows half the
Right. Clearly.
Look, you have an unforgettable story, Ricky. I'm sure Elbow Greasy. I don't know if you remember. It depends on how intense you were with the.
What's up, man?
Were y'all like side by side in the stand-up stall, or were you in the inside, the closed door stall? What was it?
For mine, it was like the stall and then like a piece of wood in between. So I was walking in.
The wood in between.
A piece
Not
of
a
wood.
wood, but like a plaster divider.
You missed it. You missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized that. Yeah, no, it was just a divider in between. You know what I mean? So I was walking in. I didn't say anything when I went to the stall, considering like the only other urinal would have been right next to him, and I didn't want to do that.
Mm. Yeah, that'd be strange.
That'd be awkward.
That's just like certain bathroom etiquette. Like
you always skip a urinal.
Just
You always skip a urinal.
No, the worst is I used to play at the Irish pubs out here a lot, and they got those what you call them? Those troughs? Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They put ice in it so that
and everybody's just sitting there. It's like you got about a good 8 feet of trough space, but then you still want to it's bad
right
enough it's bad enough I can see you.
Why you cozy up to me?
And I always get the drunk white guy who's like, "Well, I'm gonna melt this ice."
Wow.
Oh Jesus!
What else we talking about?
All right, before we jump into some videos, I want to talk about this because I just have a different take, and I'm curious to know. I know there's a different conversation going to happen, but let's go here. So Georgia judges to offer some reduced sentences for offenders who get vaccinated. All right, so I'm just going to come right out with my take. All right, so this is part of the article, right? So that was a headline, and then there was this picture, which is this picture right here, and then underneath it was like Timmy Brown Center applauds after receiving a dose of the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine from Nancy Toft, whatever other, right? And so and then it goes on to say Georgia's Hall in Dawson counties are offering people in the legal system performing community service as part. So you would look at this picture and you would be like, oh, Tammy Brown, she did something illegal and she's trying to get her thing, reduced, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's the judge.
That's not the case at all. And this is what pisses me off about this picture. Tammy Brown, this whole thing, this is out of context. Like, she was just one of the first people to get the COVID-19 vaccine. She's actually a head nurse. And I'm like, why would you use this picture? Because it automatically makes you think that she's an offender and she's black and she's getting it from this white woman. And that just really pissed me off because I was like, let me look up who this Tammy Brown person is.
I never thought about that.
And I'm like, and so it's it already just sort of perpetuated in your head, we're talking about getting people off who get vaccinated, and you're going to use that picture. You could have used any picture in the world, but you chose Newsweek because this is a Newsweek article. Yeah. You chose Newsweek to use that picture. And I'm just like, that pisses me off. That really pissed me off. And so
those are microaggressions, man, that come through in every other facet of life that when they're like, well, we're not racist. We don't. Well, you do shit like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Which tells me it says nigger without you having to say anything out your mouth.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I'm guilty of it because the average black person wouldn't do what you did, was look up her name and see what it was. Because even if you now that I looked at it, it was like Terry Brown, comma, blah, 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 blah. And my first thought was Terry Brown was like the organization or something. I didn't even think about it in that context. But now you look up her name. It's
because I was like, let me, because I just had a feeling. Because I was like, I know they're saying that they're going to give reduced sentences, but they surely wouldn't put somebody, they wouldn't put an offender on the news. They wouldn't do that. That's wrong. You just put somebody's business out in the street. Right. And so then I was like, let me look this up.
Well, I my initial response beyond what you just said though was this shows you why our justice system is bullshit.
Yes.
If we're about rehabilitation, there is no fucking get out of free early. No, you need to be rehabilitated.
Right.
If you're giving these sentences based on rehabilitation,
Right.
you say this is how long you need for rehabilitation. And just by the simple fact that you can cut some shit short, oh well, we'll cut some time off. Well, that lets me know the rest of the shit is bullshit.
Right.
And it's a money thing.
Yep.
Yep.
So which it's
Yes,
I don't
it's really fucked up. And that was my first thought right there when I was like, wait, and I've done a lot of, prison visits and stuff like that, and counseling and coaching stuff. And there is some systems that actually work for the prisons if they take it, you know what I mean? And they can get out early, obviously, good stuff like that. But it's like, you mean to tell me I can get half of my time reduced if I just agree to take this shot, no matter what I did? I may be a molester, I may be a freaking rapist, I may be a murderer, but if I agree to take this shot, screw the rehab, screw the psychology, screw counseling, all that, I get half of my dude. I'm like,
and typically these sentence reduce things, whatever. Whenever they talk about letting people out early, it's usually for non-violent offenders, and so that's the part that really concerns me, because we get these penalties like at a much higher rate than any other community. And we think about marijuana legislation now, and how part of the holdup in Jersey, right, is because they can't figure out how to penalize people, and or how to like ensure like proper like I don't know not restitution, but like what reparation for people who have already been convicted of these non-violent crimes. And so it's like, if you're giving out these sentences, what is it for? Like, what is your purpose for it?
Just to give it out.
Because here's my thing, right? What if I'm someone who is not rehabilitated? You let me out early, so now you're endangering the community, that you're trying to protect with a shot. Like, what the hell? Something need to add up. And so I just think it's all BS.
Yeah, but Greasy, did you see that article?
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
You're not on mute, but you're on mute.
No.
I feel like you're saying something real sexy, like though, bro.
No.
There you go.
There you
Can
go.
you hear me?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, let me down.
I mean, I think it talks about, I think the basis of it is just crime and punishment, right? So you mean to tell me this whole time, you could have had an incentive to not criminalize certain behaviors, non-violent ones, you know what I mean? And so I am a proponent of trying to use incentives for people of color. And if people of color happen to be, in the criminal justice system, then yeah, I'm for it. But, I still do think that it's sad that, for all these years, they couldn't have, given alternatives to sentencing.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Right. Which is why it annoys. I try not to be angry about stuff, because some things you can't control and a lot of things you can't control. But anger, it's obviously is a natural emotion. But the thing that annoys me about it the most, when I think about why I get upset, I always say, when you get upset about something, really say what makes you upset about it, not just everything around it. What's the thing that makes you upset? The thing that makes me most upset about it is that people play with our lives like pawns. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like, you're a freaking pawn in a chess game, and we just decide to play with you and move you how we want you. Like, this whole time you could have done the right thing, like you said, but now all of a sudden, I'm you can make these, concessions for me. It's like, so I really am just a freaking toy in this whole world. You playing me. And most people don't have the education, which is why I appreciate what we're doing, because we're educating people, we're helping people out. Education, information, and the resources to make these necessary changes and moves. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, nigga, y'all really playing my life right now. That's the part that really annoys me. So when I think about trying to be better and learning more, that's the thing that motivates me the most. It's like, okay, if you're gonna play with my life, I at least need to know enough shit to fight back. You know what I'm saying? Which is what we're doing right now. So,
amen. What else we got?
All right, let's move into some good stuff.
That's 3 topics we didn't hit already.
Nah, we hit more than 3. That was
3.
That was 3. Okay,
we're actually doing good tonight. Look at us, man.
3 in an hour.
Yo, before we continue any further, first of all,
yes,
I just want to thank everybody for being on here. If you, of course, you wouldn't hear the thanks if you're not on here. I was about to I just want to remind you, while we have your attention, if you could just hit that like button, comment below, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and hit that bell notification icon so you can be notified anytime we go live. We're live here each and every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Free Agents Podcast. Once again, likes, follow, subscribe, all that good shit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yo,
all right.
Never mind.
Speaking of that energy, I want to move into a topic that, like, I don't know, I'm just geeked about for some weird reason. I mean, although I love gymnastics, I don't know if y'all knew that about me. But Simone Biles, man,
like leotards.
But Simone, I want to say, I ain't gonna curse though. Simone motherfucking Biles, like this chick, or sorry, this woman is
amazing.
Amazing is not even a word. Like, I don't even, like, she literally is the GOAT. And she even, like, so this past weekend she won the first, I guess, competition of the year. I don't know, it was something, but like even on her leotard, she had a goat. she had
a goat on there.
Yeah, she had a goat, a rhinestone of a goat on the back.
Nice.
So
how do you? That's like somebody coming to the game with a Hall of Fame jacket on.
Yep.
But what does she do? What are we talking about?
Okay. So let me explain. So first of all, she's done amazing things. She is the winningest, most athlete ever. I think she has 26 26 medals, 19 gold, 7 silver.
Did you just say winningest most?
He did say
yes, I did.
I was waiting for that.
I did say the winningest
That's
most.
New shit. You are
because,
the winningest most.
She's won more than anybody else. She's the winningest most.
She's won more winningness.
So yeah, so like, and we see you, Sheree. We got you. Okay. That part, but then
can we play the video?
No, because I want to set it up though.
I'm gonna build up to it.
This is a build up.
It's a build up.
You know,
I almost stopped stuttering. I know. I'm just too excited. All right, no. So the other thing is, not only is she like won the most medals, but she's also she's created 3 different moves. So like all these different different like flips and jumps that you can do, like they're named after people. And so the way that you get those names is you have to be able to perform it twice in an international competition, and then it gets assigned to you. So now she has 3. So she has the Biles for the floor. She has Biles for the vault, and I mean not the vault, but for the beam, and then she has Biles 2 for the floor. So we're gonna watch all 3 of those, and then at the end she performed the something to. I forget the name of it. Pike, double pike.
So
but anyway,
we're about to watch all 4 of these motherfuckers.
Hold on, moves are called the Biles.
So
they're more creative.
No, I mean her last name. All these moves are named after. They're named after the person's last name.
I mean,
so she has 2.
She has 2 ball movements.
I feel like that's the name of the podcast. The bowels movements.
Two
Bowel
bowel
movements.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so
Let
funny.
me write that down.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm sure
Mark
you all
it.
4 of them.
And yes, Mabel, she said black women stay doing the impossible. Absolutely.
Yeah. Black women are amazing.
They really are.
I made it funny. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. So let's just watch him. Let's just watch him.
AM radio show.
And feel free to unmute yourself if you'd like to talk through these, as I will be doing so.
Okay.
All right, here's the first one. This is the BIOS. I mean, I don't know if y'all caught that, but she flipped forward. Here it goes. This is the second one. This is also the BIOS. Ridiculous. This is the second one. Look at the height on that thing. And this is what she,
and it's off the charts.
and she did this 6 times this weekend. So yeah,
That's crazy.
3 times. Only men have done that. She's the first woman to ever do it in the competition.
That's impressive, man.
That's
And it-
beyond impressive.
Yeah, so then I went down this whole like Simone Biles like rabbit hole, and like so there's this tape of her doing like 15 of these other moves that she has that she just hasn't brought out in competition. I mean, like she's like doing like I don't think it was like 4 flips, but it's like 3 forward flips. I mean, it's just ridiculous stuff. It's just she's ridiculous.
The most impressive one to me was that first one where she flipped twice.
Yeah, and
then
then
the
and
last
she
time,
spins it. And if you watch it, if you watch it in slow mo, she's actually flipping backwards, and then at the very end, she just twists herself forward.
She's a cat, man. That's crazy. Like you know how much
Then my
like,
concentration, you like,
yeah. But you know the scariest one is the last one, and because
Yeah.
like you literally have 2 moves before you run into this this object that does not move. You know what I mean? So you have to run full speed. I think about 40-60 yards, and then place your hands in the perfect spot. And if you miss that spot, that's you and that freaking what is it called?
the
pommel horse or the base.
Yeah,
It's a ball.
Well, no, the pommel horse is something different. So it's the base.
that mug don't move.
Nah,
So that's the
No,
thing.
I like the bows too. Like the height that she got on there. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
yeah, that thing's crazy.
yeah. Her ability to move her body is amazing.
Yeah, man.
Most guys can't even squat properly, let alone twist in the air.
Speaking of squat properly, is a really great segue to the next video. I want to bring Sheree in for this one. Hey Sheree.
Sheree.
Hey,
What up?
What up, Sheree?
hey, you didn't ask me to give you the thumbs up.
Oh, my bad.
There you go.
My
Thumbs
bad.
up.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, brother.
Oh, you're frozen now though.
Frozen. Do you want to build a snowman?
You didn't give her a chance to do the thumbs up.
No,
She's like, I'm out.
Thumbs up. Okay, here we go. I'm bringing you back. You ready? Thumbs up. All right, here we go. Boom.
Okay.
Sheree.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Everything.
Sheree.
All right, so I brought you in for this, but then you're definitely going to stay for the next clip because it's going to be a very interesting conversation since we have a woman to talk to us about. So this first clip is Lil Nas X at SNL. Oh, by the way, the name of I also was going to name this episode the demonetization episode because all these clips are definitely for somebody else from somebody else's stuff. So,
Sounds good.
all right, here we go. This is Lil Nas X, Saturday Night Live, in his little snafu that happened. Speaking about dropping it hot.
Can we take a look at the clip of Saturday Night Live? Not to make you relive it, but that was the rip.
And this was the rehearsal. This was supposed to happen. All right, yo, Lil Nas is living his best life, but yeah, he ripped his pants, and I think he didn't have no underwear on because his junk was about to fall out.
Free balling
On live TV, that would have been
On live TV. Yeah, he was saying in that interview, he was like afterwards, because like you know how they cleared the stage, he was like he couldn't move, like he stayed in front of that pole until somebody brought him a towel.
I know.
Because also there was a part on that performance where they start tugging on his pants as well, and he was just hoping and praying that they didn't tug too hard because he would have been butt naked. So.
Yeah, it should have been called Saturday Nut Live.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh Jesus! I cracked myself up. Okay, I'm done.
Is
That's
Sheree
funny.
frozen or is that her response? She was
I haven't even seen the memes. Mabel says the memes from that clip are hilarious.
Oh, for
Yeah,
real.
but he definitely kept his composure though. You know.
Yeah.
Also, I would just say, I can't wait till this album come out. This is like, I haven't seen this last video. He just had a video that released as well, and they said it's really dope.
Another video?
Yeah.
Here's my thing. This is what I want to know. And I mean, I like some of his music, but are we talking about it because it's because of shock value? Are we talking about it because of impact, or are we talking about it because of quality?
So this is what I was telling Ricky. I think that what Lil Nas X has is genius, right? Like he's very similar to 6ix9ine, and like 6ix9ine was a genius. He just was a genius in the wrong direction. And I feel like Lil Nas X is the same way. Like he knows how to maximize and capitalize on opportunity. And because of that, I think you actually hear more of his music, and his music isn't bad. Like I don't think his music is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the whole Old Town Road. I think like he said this in the interview. He was like that first album was really him doing what other people wanted him to do. Like he's like this Montero is the name of this album. He's like it's really him. It's really like who he is. And I feel like right now he is being he's being him himself, and he's been his best self. And so like, and because of that, we're just sort of captivated by it. I mean, like there is like, you know, of course the whole deer in the headlights car crash kind of deal. Like, you know, like this is the first like really outward, you know, gay artist. I mean, there was what's his name?
It's Frank Ocean.
Yeah, Frank Ocean, but like he wasn't like super forward about it. And like, you know, Lil Nas X is like, I'm gonna just put this all in your face, you know. So
literally teabagging. Sorry. Hey Sheree.
Any thoughts, Sheree?
I have zero thoughts.
Yo, I got a thing with Lil Nas X, and the funny thing about just him in general, yes, everything we're saying is 100% correct, and the only thing that he's doing is exactly what everybody wants him to do. And what brings the shock, well, you said the shock value is like people are always shocked when somebody does the exact same thing that they want to do. And then, you know, they actually want to do that thing. And so like the backlash and the insecurity and the oh my gods really come from an insecure place, because it's like, I actually want to do that, but you did it on a huge scale and that's not right. And so then you only be able to reform.
You become a hater.
Yeah, you become a hater, and then you reform back to what you've been told and what you've been preached to your entire life. That's wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. You're going to hell. Well, cool. I mean, he said he's going to hell, and now you mad at him because he actually said it and he's doing it. You know what I mean? So like, you know,
Good point.
you know, so why are you mad at him for doing exactly what y'all said he could do, and you still mad? So a lot of time when somebody's mad, like I said earlier, it's like you have to ask a person, what are you really mad for? And most people don't even know what the hell they mad for. Ha, hell, pun intended. Anyway, they don't even know.
Ricky is cracking himself up tonight.
Damn.
Good time.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So this is a good one. This is going to be the 30-40 minute conversation.
We can't make it a 30-40.
All right, we'll make it like 20. But here we go.
All right, let your restart this.
Name something tangible that these women that you speak of are bringing to the relationship.
They're helping you elevate as an individual. They're not just spending your money. They're actually having you find ways to get money or to better yourself. Like, y'all, what are you really doing for the woman besides sex? Besides sex and money, what?
Besides sex, money, understand, listening to your dreams, hopes, and aspirations. Like aside from all of that shit, what are you doing?
Everybody's not doing that though. Everybody's not doing that. The average guy is not doing that.
But again,
and you know that.
True, but you didn't name nothing tangible. Give me something tangible that a woman is bringing to a relationship. Exactly. Like I said, the expect. You want to phone a friend? You want to tag somebody in? You want to come in and help? You want to help her? I said tangible. Tangible. So like I said, women's expectations don't match what they bring.
All right, before we get into this, I think that comes with lots of caveats.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be caveating our asses off before we give our responses. But
And
I'll cede to Cherie. I'll let Cherie go first.
Yeah, that's true.
and before we do that, I do want to give credit to the Crew Season. That's the name of the podcast, and they're actually out of Houston. And in that clip, that was like a 1.5 minute clip of an hour and a half conversation. It was like 6 different couples. I don't think they were couples, but they were like boy-girl match or man-woman matches having these conversations, and it was a pretty interesting. It was pretty really good, interesting conversation they were having. So I just wanted to say that.
Cherie, you got any?
Okay, so I have questions because that was kind of like we were parachuted in the middle of a conversation, and so the context. Were they talking about general relationships, or are they talking about relationships where one person has a lot of money and fame and the other, maybe I guess the female doesn't have fame and money? What's the context?
The context is, I think that the idea, what he was getting at and what he was saying, because there was another part to it, is that's like, what do people bring to relationships just in general, like as a man and as a woman, in like if you were in a sense kind of like equal in that relationship. And so initially what he was saying is that like, yeah, there's like all these intangible things, but he's like, as a man, something tangible is like I can bring protection. And because he uses example in this other part of the podcast where he was like, if it was 2 women together, and then there was like 6 dudes, you walking on 6 dudes, and those 6 dudes try to, fight you or something. Like, what is the other woman gonna do? And so then he was like, he said, like, so as a guy, like one thing I can offer, one thing I can bring that's tangible to this relationship is security, in a sense, like physical security. And so like that's where it sort of started, and then it became like this thing is like, what is it that a woman then can bring to that's something tangible to the relationship?
Okay. Well, I'd like to say a woman can bring just about anything that a man can bring, depending on the relationship, right? So you have, for instance, oftentimes, especially traditionally, you would have a man that would make more money, and then a woman that would either stay home or would make lesser money, right? So that paradigm has been really flipped on its ear. And so now oftentimes you have, I can give two examples. I won't give them, but I know two primary examples where the woman was actually making the more of the money, and then the man was doing more of the supportive role. And so I think that depending on the relationship, a woman can bring just about this a lot of the same things a man can bring. I do still believe that there are roles that people play, and some of those roles fall right along the gender line. But besides that, though, and then also in terms of being that supportive role, I personally experienced where I experienced a lot of success in my career, and then when my relationship, did what it did, which is my spouse passed, right? So years after, I began to realize how much of my success was because of the support I had, right? Because when I came home, the kids were doing their work, they were doing the chores, dinner had been arranged and things like that, so I can work later in the lab. So that there's that tangible part where you don't it doesn't ring up as a cha-ching, but having that support at home is really what's allowing you to be yourself and to be a family breadwinner. So
all right, so we got some comments in here. Reese says women bring food, legacy, children, touch, and atmospheric peace of mind. Mabel says security is not tangible. She agrees with Ree. Tangible things can be brought by either person. And then she went on to say the intangibles are individual, not necessarily gender based. So one of the things I do want to get into is like what he said at the very end, where it's like, do women's expectations often get often are not met by the reality? Like women put expectations on men that they themselves don't meet.
Let me say this.
Okay.
I think people put expectations on people that they themselves can't meet. And I want to say it that way because all of these are expectations. He's talking about, and the reason I was like, these are going to be full of caveats, because this is all about expectations, and expectations closely align with cultural principles. And whatever community, I guess that's culture, whatever culture you're a part of, or you decide to be a part of. So here we have a capitalist society that is patriarchal, and for that reason, men make more money. So it's expected that men bring money, or traditionally that's what's been expected. It's not that women can't, and especially nowadays, as things become closer, like we're kind of creating a bridge economically between men and women. I think that although it's still expected for men to provide, because men are traditionally, based on our society's principles, which Constitution and all these other things are based on biblical principles, right? Marriage, the way we aligned it, men are the provider and the leader. And but if you're not a leader, you should not lead anything. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think the expectations have to change based on a lot of things. I think overall, this conversation has some, I can see where the basis, or I can see where they're coming from. Like I can see the starting point, but I think it's flawed. Like all of these arguments are extremely flawed, and quite honestly, I'm off put by his take.
Yeah, and
you know what? Yeah. So, go ahead, Ricky.
No, I agree 100%. The funny thing about anytime somebody, they put themselves in them situations, and if you look at the girl's body language, she's so uncomfortable, she's so awkward, and he had this like demeanor, which is most guys have, but the messed up part about all of it is, most people get in relationships not knowing what they want, and they always want what they don't have. That's the real messed up thing about it. So you want to get a girl who looks a certain way to, stroke your ego, make you feel a certain type of way, and she want to get a guy to make her feel secure. Guys need to feel like, their ego is being stroked, and women like the security. So they both want that thing, but they don't even know why they want that thing. They want it because that's again what you said, society has put this stipulation that men are supposed to do this, women are supposed to do that. You know what I mean? So then when they get in those relationships, and then you have this expectation, this preconceived notion. Now both of y'all are butting heads when you're like, well, what you bringing to the table? Well, nigga, you got me because you thought I looked good. You know what I'm saying? And then it's the vice versa. It's like the woman you got with him because he has the money. And then it's like, now both of y'all upset with what y'all thought y'all wanted. Then now you got it, but you still don't, you're not appreciating it. So that's where y'all butting heads at. So that whole conversation was more of it was very kind of degrading if you really think about it, because you brought a woman on there who obviously, I won't say obviously, take that back. Like, she was just so uncomfortable. I think if you would have got a woman who knew what she was about to get into and she was prepared, it would have been a whole nother type of conversation.
Well, I think you don't make that argument. I think it's purely who you're dealing with, right?
Right.
If Michelle Obama is sitting there, you don't say that.
Right.
You can't. He doesn't win that argument.
Right.
Because it's the person you're dealing with who knows where they are, and I that's why I think it's really nuanced here, because it's going to change based on whoever is having this conversation. But I think ultimately it's also, like you said, Ricky, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, in that if you enter with it, because we place so much value on things, on tangible things, things we can touch and see and make and use. Like, we don't put value on the intangibles. And I think there is so much value in the intangibles. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think his whole argument is flawed, because when the intangibles ain't there, so that's fucking tangible to me, because my life is going to show as a result of the intangibles that I'm missing. If I'm missing understanding and compassion and understanding and love, it's going to show in how I engage with the world. That's fucking tangible to me. So I don't think you can discount those things. And I think because we place so much value on things, we feel, okay, if you're not bringing things to the table, if I can't count the things, then you're not bringing enough. And, so I think his whole outlook is flawed. But I think it's about value. It's about value.
Exactly.
And I just want to say, so that was just a snapshot. She actually says a lot more.
Okay.
As like on both ends of the argument, because the way that it's the way the clip is set up, they're sort of like bouncing from like couple to couple. And so like before that, she does make a valid statement, and even afterwards she comes back with even more stuff. And it's just like, and I captured that clip because that was a clip that was given to me through TikTok. And so I was like, this will create the conversation. But I think one of the things that I really want to get into is like this idea of like expectations, and this thing that like we have this notion of like what we expect in our head, even once we're in the relationship, but then we still don't even communicate it, or we allow like this world that we have in our head to play out because of the expectations that we've already set. And so like, what would you say to any one of y'all? Like, what would be some advice that you could probably give, or what would you say, how do you deal with communicating expectations and then making sure that the person that you're in a relationship can receive them well, because they know that like you've already put these expectations on them anyway, right? Or is it that like you take off all the expectations and you just have no expectations at all, which I think is impossible. So
let's get Sharif point of view first.
Yeah, thank you. I like that the conversation has come back to expectations, because you have when you have people that are coming together in a relationship, you have individuals, right? And they have their individual thoughts and their patterns and their wants and expectations. When you come together as a couple, whether you're a married couple or you're just a non-married couple, now you have to form a new dynamic, right? The ideal is to become one. two people as one. And so at some point in time, you need to sit down and talk about the new expectations, right? The evolving expectations, right? Okay, we came together with this. All right, now 2 years down the line, now what are our expectations? What are we trying to achieve? And what, who needs to bring what for this partnership to work? And, are we doing that? And how do we go about it? So, I mean, I think it's important and this is not a natural thing that people do. They have to really think about it in order to implement this sort of thing, but have periodical check-ins with, okay, is this what's working, what's not working? Should we shift our expectations? And how do we support each other to to step into the roles that each person has? Because there's more to roles than just male female. There are the natural strength that a person brings to their relationship,
right?
And being able to shine in those strengths and being given being able to be a leader in those strengths. So, for instance, if a wife is really strong with budgeting, then and the male is not so much. So then the recognition, you have that strength. Why don't you do the budgeting? And I can do the planning for for where we're going to be in 5 years or 10 years in terms of living conditions or whatever. So I mean, continually readjusting what the expectations are with the evolution of their lives. So
Man, I think that was amazing, Sheree. Thank you for that awesome woman point of view. I think one of the biggest things I've learned in all the multiple relationships I've been in is really being okay with being yourself first, and then explaining to the person where your flaws are, and again why you feel like that person could help you in that particular area, and giving them the option to decide if they can help you in that area. You know what I'm saying? But if you never communicate your flaws or your weaknesses, I mean, like explicitly, I'm talking about to the point, yo, I suck at this particular thing.
Yeah.
And then you get that person the option to decide, can I help him in that thing that he sucks at? You know what I'm saying? But most times, like you said, that's never really communicated until later in a relationship. But way back here in your brain, it's like, I want to say this thing, but I don't want her to look at me a certain type of way. Well, it's called a relationship, not an expectationship.
So let me ask you this question. So what if then if that person just doesn't accept you for who you are, and that therefore you can't be your true self?
Truth, be honest. Okay, if that person just completely doesn't accept you for who you are, like blatantly, like I just absolutely cannot deal with this, you know what I mean? If they're being their honest true self, I always look at it like, yo, you have to ask a person, is it the fact that they can't deal with it, or they don't want to deal with it? Because everybody has the capability to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to, like, there's some things I know for sure is like, it's just a lot. There's a lot to take on. But I want to do it because I love you enough to try to understand. It's all about the effort. It's not about being perfect. So if you if a person makes an ounce of effort to try to solidify whatever you're falling short at, that's all you need. It doesn't have to be like, just fix everything. But if a person decides that, you know what, that's just something I absolutely cannot put up with, then there needs to be a mediator to help understand why.
I would even say, though, maybe that's just not the relationship for you.
I mean, that's, to be completely honest, if a person, like I said, if a person blatantly says, I don't want to deal with this, there's no other,
they maybe don't blatantly say it, right? It's just how they respond and how they react to you. Like, people aren't always going to come right out and say that they can't deal with you. It's just like how they respond to who you are.
Well, you know what? There's a saying, man, don't collect too many red flags. If you collect too many red flags, you walk around with a heavy bucket, and then you get way down. You know what I'm saying? Like, people like to throw red flags out there because they care enough about you to not be honest, and I think that's still bullshit, honestly. It's like, I need you to tell me the truth. Don't spare me no feelings of like, oh, let me just try to pat your weight. No, like, tell me how you feel. And that's why it's a relationship. If I cannot relate to you, then we have an expectationship. And we can't go anywhere if we always expecting something. You know what I'm saying? Relationship. Let's go somewhere. Expectation. Where are we expecting to go? I have no idea. We're going to sink. We're going to drown. You know what I mean? So like the idea is to be able to relate to a person, even at their weakest point in life, is like, yo, I feel where you're weak at. And I can relate because I have a similar story. This is how I pull myself up. Or if we relate right here, let's pull each other up together. But if a person's at the bottom of the barrel and you like, I can't deal with you down here, then I'm sorry. Okay, I need to back away, because the only thing you're doing is you kicking me while I'm down. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my 2 cents on it.
Well, one way.
Also,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think also people tend to hide their needs and their flaws because they don't want to be rejected. But here's the thing, you can only hide so long, and it's better to have those things dealt with up front, and before you put all the time into it, than to have those things be revealed later on, and then you have the same outcome, which is incompatibility. So we tend to hide, because we don't want rejection, but sometimes we just need to go ahead and see, is this something that I will be rejected from? And so I can move on, I can move on, you can move on, instead of going 5 years down the line and then you've invested so much and you still at an impasse.
Yeah, and that's the part about, I'm sorry, not to beat a dead horse, pun intended. That's what most people do. It's like the part about really being a human is being able to say how I feel comfortably. Like, go ahead and just be a human and talk about your good points, your bad points, and it's okay to go through the experience of things. Again, that's a lot of times we're so comfortable, we're so trained and programmed to hold on to bullshit, to hold on to harsh situations because we've been programmed and told that, hey, you got to go through this stuff. Like, hey, look, you don't have to go through everything once you realize the big picture, the answer. You got the answer. Okay, what did you learn in this whole experience? Life is just a big experience anyway. So if it's an experience, like, what did you learn? I learned that I can't deal with this type of person. Cool. Chapter closed. Move on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit there and be like, well, maybe you're gonna end up in the grave sooner than later. You know what I mean? That's just my thoughts on it. I'm done. Sorry, I go all day. So.
All right. I mean, that was good. This is good. At least personally. But I think it was. Yeah,
expectation ships added to her internal vocabulary.
But what was the pun with the dead horse? I missed that one.
Huh?
He was just saying, beating a dead horse, like the dead relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if it's dead, like, why you keep on beating it?
Okay. But I think one of the key points of any relationship is communication. And so I think a good way to practice communication is by being able to speak freely through Pick a Side. So,
all right.
Without any further ado, let's jump into some Pick a Side.
All right. Listen, Pick a Side, for those of you who don't know, if you're joining us for the first time, because the whole world knows what Pick a Side is now. It's a game we created, but it's a practice in owning, your decisions and your whatever you decide, like owning your shit. So here's what's gonna happen. We're each gonna offer up some scenarios here with two sides. You pick one, no explanation. It's a practice in not apologizing or not owing anyone an explanation for how you feel. And if you would like to get some clarification, the only way that we can get that we can give clarification is if you pop in the chat and ask us to explain. We're going to try to get through this. We've never gotten through this successfully without offering some sort of explanation in a lead into our response, or just like a silly comment here or there. And if you would like to pop in and join us for this, you can use that link that just popped up in your chat, and you can join us for Pick a Side. We love to have guests on here, and we got another guesses just popped in. What up, Reese? You good? You ready to come in?
Yeah, she said she's ready.
All right, let's go. Oh yeah.
Hey, Reese.
Hey. Hello.
All right.
Oh, I
Here we
love the
go.
hair.
Oh, Reese,
Wait,
Thank
just
you.
pause on that hair. That's
listen,
beautiful.
can you get a spin around? You just can't come on.
So spin around, get my ponytail.
Yeah,
Ooh,
right.
ponytail in.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was it? Hold on,
Nice.
your hair wasn't always shaved on the sides, was it?
It was, but it was grown out. It was time for a touch up. It's all the way around. I
Okay,
don't have no hairs.
Right.
It's a different look.
I dig it. All
All right,
right.
y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, here's my first one. You know, I'll go easy in the first round. Pick a side.
That's what she said.
Always say what you're thinking or never be able to speak again.
Always say what I'm thinking.
Definitely always say what I'm thinking.
Always say what I'm thinking.
Always say what I'm thinking.
And I will make it the trifecta and say always say what I'm thinking.
Unanimous.
Quafecta.
Trifecta, bro.
Pinfecta.
There we go.
Pinfecta.
You just gonna name something. You just gonna take 5 and make it 3.
Quinsecta.
Quinn. Yeah, there we go. Quinfecta.
Dope.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, we had somebody said Mabel said never speak again. You can write stuff down. That's an explanation, but you did make a point.
If you're in the chat, you can give your own explanation. But if you're on here live on camera, you cannot explain.
You can't. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now I wish I would have changed my answer. But go ahead.
All right. Would you rather spend a day as the opposite gender, or excuse me, spend a day as another gender? I won't say opposite because there's others.
There's several.
Would you rather spend a day as another gender or as another race?
God, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with another race.
Mine's gender.
Yeah, mine will be gender as well.
I'm going to go with. Oh, what the heck? I'll go with gender.
I'm gonna go with race. Listen, if you're in the chat and you have an opinion,
I know, right?
let us know. Let us know. You know, and these are all. Look, we made it through 2 rounds. Explain, Ricky. Let's go, brother.
All right.
Let's go for the trifecta.
Oh, hold on. My Mabel chimed in.
Okay, Mabel says I definitely want to hear explanations for this one. Who wants
Okay.
to start?
I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was thinking race at first. I was like, I mean, you know, I could be a white man. I can get everything I want in life. But then I was like, maybe if I was the gender that I was thinking about was a woman. And so like maybe if I was a woman, that could better help me understand women. More specifically my woman or my wife. And so I was like, maybe, you know, being, you know, a black woman for the day. Could give me some perspective. So no, what were you going to say, Sheree?
There's something really interesting in that you first were going to say like a white man. So what I see here is, let's talk about dominant versus non-dominant, the norm, right? So when we talked about men and women, in this society, men have more power, right? Men are the norm, and then we are trying to fight and elevate to have the same amount of power. So both of the ladies said men. But also if you look along racial lines, in this country, white is where the power is, white is where the norm is. You know, white is where all things flow and then trickle down, unfortunately. So the fact that the 3 men would look to then go at that paradigm. I'm not saying that you all wanted to be white race. You could have been other races, but I'm just looking at the power dynamics of our society and how did that play into any of our answers?
That's a good one.
So for me, it was cultural. It's purely cultural. Like, I think just there are certain things that come with blackness that you cannot explain. You know what I'm saying? Like certain attachments that we have, certain interactions or way we, just the whole. I was on a wedding this weekend, and and I met these women who they had like a bouncy house, which is so cool. This is the dopest wedding I've ever been to. But the operators were two black women. They were the owners of the company. And of course I noticed them because it was like 6 black people out of like 200 people. But just that whole, we didn't have to say anything to each other, but we just kind of looked, and it was just like, cool. And when we did speak, it was like, yo, we were thinking the same thing. Yo, it's like 6 of us here. Did you recognize it? Yeah, I recognized it. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder, that just comes from the dynamic that we have, being a smaller group of people. I'm trying to not say minority like we talked about, right? Just numbers wise in this country. But I would wonder what it would be like to be the majority and to feel like everywhere I go is fine. You know what I mean? And I wasn't necessarily thinking about white people or being a white man, but also other cultures that, Latin, the whole diaspora of like Latin culture, and thinking of like an Afro Latin culture versus like, something else. So, I'm intrigued by cultural differences. And as much as I would think I would gain a lot of understanding by being a woman, y'all deal with a lot. And God bless y'all. And I'm gonna let y'all have it.
Was that the Bruce Springsteen wedding?
I had 2 of the damn Bruce Springsteen. I had to sing another one Saturday. It went well. They loved it. White people love my Bruce Springsteen, but I just didn't love performing it necessarily. But yeah, so that's what I was thinking.
That's what's up.
You will not be asked to do. I'm sorry. You will not be asked to sing Bruce Springsteen on the 18th. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you better not be singing no Bruce.
You better not sing that. I didn't learn those songs actually. I would just say for me, and not that I understand women completely. Obviously, I'm not a pro at all. I think I've listened and I understand. I empathize a lot with black women. I think as a coach, I deal with a lot of black women and have 9 aunts and 25 girl cousins. So I hear it and I feel it and I understand it enough. So I feel like I'm at a place where I know how to facilitate the emotions with black women, with women in general, with black women specifically. For me, it was a culture thing as well too. It's like I really want to know what other races think of black people. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. I really want to be inside their head and not just the surface. Oh, what's up, buddy? How you doing? But what are you really, really thinking? So I can really understand why you feel that way and how to, change the narrative somehow. So that's what it was for me as far as being another race.
Awesome. I actually like gender. I was thinking, so it's interesting y'all both brought up culture in picking race. And it had you phrase it, if I would rather be a different ethnicity. I would agree with that, with cultures rather than race, because race isn't that for me.
That's
true. That's where that kind of comes in. Race is a label, and it kind of falls on why I did pick gender, because genders are right now being the most closest thing I find people allowing themselves the openness to explore labellessness, which is what I kind of call it. It's just kind of, what if you woke up with no labels, and how do you proceed? And then that takes away white supremacy. It takes away a lot of things. If you woke up and you have no labels except what you mix with you, which is where
Risa, you're breaking
yeah,
up.
I don't think my connection is strong today.
Try to
let me see
if you can pop out and pop back in.
Yeah, let me do that.
Cause you spitting some fire. We don't want to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got you. I'm gonna pop out. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Dope.
She always brings the depth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Come on now.
That
We need to
third
get on.
dimension.
For real. I love hearing that talk. So should I move to the next one? Should I say mine?
Well, no, Shree, did you want to?
I kind of alluded to,
Yeah.
but yeah, just understanding, what it, and I think we had to pick a side kind of like this before, but knowing what it's like to be a man. I know that, women, we have our struggles, men have struggles too. Men have pressures that are, that can be very austere and very unfair as well. For instance, not being able to freely, or not being accepted for freely showing emotion or showing your crying, and having to appear strong in all circumstances. So yeah, just kind of to walk in those shoes.
That's what's up.
Reese, did you want to finish up what you had to say about that?
Yeah, I'll just shrink it because I don't know what's going on with my connection today. But gender basically just opens up the door of labels eliminated, especially with how they're approaching the whole gender fluidity. I don't fall in that same category. I wouldn't say I directly connect and resonate with that, but I do resonate with where their intentions are. I feel like their intentions are working to explore what is past what I've been told is my labels. And that's where I think that it gets wild. I mean, imagination goes a lot of ways, so I don't judge them from where they go with it. There's a lot of misguided traumas, different things that kind of spark it to go so wild, but the root of it is going to be pretty much simple. And I think that root is what I would like to explore on many different levels of where that root stems and feels from different angles of people who declare certain genders or gender fluidities and things, to kind of see what got you to that way of thinking.
Dope. Freaking amazing. Reese, you be on it, man.
Yeah, this made me think about something, right? About the whole gender fluidity thing. And I mean, I know this is pick a side, so this is not like a in-depth thing. But like when you pick your gender, right? We pretty much have like these established ideas or ideals of gender. And so like even if you pick your gender, you still won't be able to really experience
the cultural part to it, I guess.
Yes. Right? You can't really experience the cultural part because people are not necessarily going to you're not a part of that cultural from a natural standpoint. So it just made me think about that. And I mean, like, we can have a longer conversation on another day, but yeah, I just thought about that.
It depends on what you define as natural, because selection itself could be a natural happening, which is just as natural as your biology.
It's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Opens up the imagination. That's all I'm gonna say. It opens up a lot of thoughts.
Let's move along. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. That really was.
Ricky, you next.
Oh, God,
you literally just pat yourself on the back, Bel-Ami.
Hey, listen, I don't mind.
I know, right?
He was like, that was a good one.
Good job, man. I did good. If nobody else is gonna give it to me.
I'm bringing that Reese every now and then.
Exactly. Reese. Okay, I forgot I was gonna say something about Lil Nas. Oh yeah. Oh shoot! I forgot how to work. Okay, so you're at Saturday Night Live, and Lil Nas X crotch hangs out. They tell you this is your opportunity to be famous if you go in there and hold and cover him up. Do you do it? Yes or no?
Nah. Oh, I'm sorry. Not my turn.
No.
Cover him up.
Yeah, you gotta
hold his junk.
Yeah, you gotta hold his junk.
Oh no. Okay, no.
I'm gonna go with no as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no, man.
I'm gonna go with no. I was just messing with y'all here, but
it's all good.
All right, Reese.
All right. Mine is the theme of musicals. Would you rather be stuck hearing internally musicals, known, well, already established songs from musicals for the rest of your life, or have to sing and communicate through song as a musical for your own life.
Mm.
I want to sing.
Well, if you know me, I already have a musical in my head. So musicals in my head constantly.
Yeah, in my head, because you're explaining, bro. You can't explain. We made it thus far. And you're gonna go mess it up. In my head.
So wait, you mean you have to sing your explanation? Is that what you're saying?
The question,
You just gotta sing everything.
You gotta
sing
sing
everything?
everything you communicate. Anything that comes out your mouth is a song, or you're only hearing songs. Like all your thoughts and everything are musicals in your head.
Oh, I'll be Ricky. I want to sing everything. This would be fun.
Mine's in my head.
Yeah, there's an amazing Buffy the Vampire episode of when they had
I
to
saw
do.
it.
Yeah, it was great. There's some really cool, creative Buffy the Vampire episodes.
I've watched zero.
Was it when she came back? When she came back as after being dead?
I think so. Back? The two that I remember the most is the musical, and then the other one was like when they couldn't speak at all. Like it was just so clever. Like the entire show was silent.
Oh, I don't remember that one. I remember the one where they. I know this is a non sequitur, but I remember the one where Angelus lost his soul, and they went in and they were possessed. But anyway,
it's a great series to binge on if you ever want to binge.
Binge worthy.
All right.
Okay. My pick a side. Mm-hmm. Okay. Love, true love. Pick a side. Do you believe that love begins and ends or not?
Okay, ask it one more time.
Okay, true love. Do you believe that love has a beginning and ending or not, that it doesn't have a beginning or ending?
Meaning it's just fluid, like it just keeps going? I guess that's what I'm trying to understand.
Does it have a beginning and an ending?
Okay.
Why you
at that face?
Because I'm trying to.
Like shit.
I think I understand, but in my head, what it's telling me to choose, I'm just going to choose it, which is it doesn't have a beginning or end.
No beginning, no end.
I agree. No beginning, no end.
Oh, where did Reese go? Yeah.
Oh, she said she'll be right back.
Yeah. No beginning, no end.
Okay.
Okay, good. That was a tricky one. That was a good one too. I had to think for a second.
All right. Here's my down and dirty for the day. Eat where you shit or shit where you eat.
What now? Eat.
Shit where I eat.
Eat where I shit or shit where I eat. I'm gonna go with shit where I eat. Straight face.
Eat where I dump. Eat where I dump.
All right. Okay, so Reese, the choice
back.
The choice is eat where you shit or shit where you eat.
Shit where I eat. I did hear it.
Okay. And I am going to go with eat where I shit.
Can someone ask for explanation? Because I need to understand.
I'm not gonna ask. But...
And then your answer for the last one was no beginning or end. Oh, eat where I shit. At least prep will still be uncontaminated.
All
right. Oh, Mabel says explain.
Thank you.
So I understood this to be not in the literal sense, but in like, and so when I hear it, I hear you eat where you shit, meaning the shit happens. You're just eating there where you've already shat. And so I think the first word coming after, like that being the action that happens secondary, right? I don't want to eat at a place where I shat because then it's unsafe. But if I shit where I eat, like I eat here, I'm just gonna shit here too. That sucks. I'm a shitty person, but at least I'm just not contaminated. And I say that I took it as like in interactions and engagements with people, you know, I'd rather eat somewhere and then it sounds bad, like burn that fucking bridge, shit all over it, than to shit all over some place and then have to go and ask to eat there. Like, yeah, so that's how I interpreted it. Because you're gonna poison me.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you just said. Like,
I'm gonna go with his explanation.
But no, I like that explanation was pretty dope. Meaning that, like, you know, you rather have accomplished something and then take it and then shit all over it, as opposed to like fuck it up and then have to go clean it up. That's good.
Sense. I like that.
We're repeating 48 Laws of Power, and they use a story about how somebody burned all the books in the library, or because he didn't want any remnants of what was before him, and he didn't want anyone knowing about anything beyond him. And as much as that sucks, it's like, yo, he's establishing himself as I'm going to write this story from here on out. I got in here. Thank you for letting me in. Now I'm going to burn all this shit up. But if you have done an action, like that, if you went in, burned all the books up in somebody's home, and then was like, oh, yo, can I come in here real quick? And so, yeah, that's why I chose that one.
Okay. I chose eat where I shit because
you like nasty shit.
No, because I've actually like eat a candy bar while taking a shit. So, you know,
that's real life for him.
It's very literal.
Prolong it.
I mean, one going in, one going out, huh? I'm sorry.
Indeed.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, whose turn is it now?
Bel-Ami.
Bel-Ami. You on mute, bro.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna have to pass. Come back to me. I don't have one.
Okay.
Okay. So this is, I don't know why this happened. I heard a Rihanna song and it made me think about this. If there's a monster underneath your bed, you know for a fact is there. Do you look or do you not look?
Oh, do I go first?
No, yeah.
I don't look. Mm-mm.
I'm gonna look.
I don't have to look.
I gotta size that nigga up.
Yeah, the curiosity in me just won't let me just not look. I'm gonna look.
Okay.
Talk about Rihanna. I got friends with the monster up under my bed. That's what popped in my head.
Okay, I'm ready for mine. Drake. Top 5 or not top 5? All time.
All time?
Like artists or hip hop artists, or just all time?
Hip hop.
Okay.
All time? I'm gonna say not top 5. Yeah.
Not top 5.
Not top 5.
Top 5.
Definitely top 5.
Somebody asks why. Okay, go ahead,
I mean, dare I say top two? Okay.
Can I? Reese, you got one because I'm kind of behind the 8 ball here.
Yeah, I got one. So, all right, you have to wear your most intimate secret visibly, like it's tattooed on you, never can be covered up, or you have to say any secret that's given to you from someone else.
Okay, one more time.
Yeah.
You have to tell a secret given to you.
I have one question.
Oh, you got one?
Oh, I have one question. Is this freestyle off the dome, or do you prepare these?
This is off the dome.
Oh wow, my mind is blown. Okay.
I know. I love hearing.
That's why I gotta fix it a little bit. Okay, I'll fix it a little bit. So you either have to display your secret, your most innermost secret, but you can keep every secret. Like you can mum's the word. You're airtight. Don't have to say nothing. Anybody even took your cord, locked up. Or you can keep your innermost secret, all your secrets, but you have to say any secret somebody tells to you. You can't keep a secret.
I see what this is getting at.
I see.
Yeah, I see what this is getting at.
That's an integrity.
Oh, and it's on me. Shoot.
It's on you.
It is on you.
I would. I would reveal my innermost secret.
I'd rather be Kanye than 6ix9ine.
Don't know what that means.
I'm assuming
you don't want to be a snitch.
He's wearing his innermost secret. He's keeping secrets.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely display mine.
I'll be getting stitches.
No, I'm gonna wear my innermost secret.
Fire.
You got one, Mystery?
Oh, do I have one? I almost had one. Hold on. Wait, yeah, Reese, you kind of took my mind away because I was almost there. So, let me see. Just 1 second. Give me a second. I'm thinking. My whole body's thinking.
If you can't think of one, I have one.
Go.
All right, here we go. This one's a little salacious.
Salacious.
Would you rather be famous because you made a sex tape, or famous because your mom made a sex tape and you're the baby from the sex tape?
Ricky is on you.
Oh, definitely me. I'd rather be famous from. Oh, you that dude? Oh man, yo mama.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me clarify. I should have said this before. This is too easy. Famous because you made a bad sex tape. Like you were poor performers in the sex tape.
And your mom was a top performer.
Or you.
In that case, I'm going to switch. I'm going with mom. I'm sorry.
I'm the baby. Gotta love me.
No, that's gonna have to be me.
I can always improve.
I'm gonna say me too.
Just lets me know I need to work. That's all. That was good.
Your reputation is ruined.
Well, ladies, thank you for joining us, and essentially Sharif for co-hosting with us.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I have to say, I did miss Elbow Greasy during.
Yeah,
this,
we don't.
Yeah, me too.
We all have missed.
Right.
He was having some. He didn't walk his dog earlier, and
Yeah.
I think it just went downhill from there. Right. And but it's all good. Thank you all.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, just always. And for Reese for taking us on a ride.
Yes.
And
magic carpet ride.
Absolutely. All right, we're gonna send y'all back. Y'all can stick around if you want.
Bye, y'all. The Three Amigos.
All right. Well, anything before we hand it over to Ricky? Oh yes, let's do some plugging. Bel-Ami, you got anything you like to plug?
Are we talking about what's happening next month?
Yeah. I was gonna preview it. There's something big happening next month, and that's you have to stay tuned to next week's episode. But the free agents, we're gonna do something big,
something really cool, very big.
Yeah, something cool
that's never been done on the Free Agents podcast.
Never, ever.
Yeah, I just want to plug. Listen, all my people in Houston. I should have put up a slide for it. I'll have one for it next week, and maybe even a proper video. But mark on your calendars, June 19th, Hunters Glen Park. I will be performing at the Missouri City Juneteenth Festival concert, and it's gonna be dope. Yeah,
bring some water.
Yes, bring some water. It's gonna be hot. Joke, but it's gonna be dope. And
Robbie's in the building.
H-Time, yes sir.
H-Time.
Yeah, put that on your calendars. Make sure you're there. It's gonna be dope. Got some incredible musicians, and we're gonna play the music from this album, man, for the first time live since the album has been released. So I'm excited about that. And make sure you're there. Hit me up if you need some more instructions. And that's it, man.
Is one of the musicians on?
One of the musicians right under my camera. He programmed his mind to internalize all of this music that's about to happen.
Man, there's some fire music too.
Anything you got going on, Mr.
Man, I got a little bit of everything going on. See, I got a new book that I'm working on, obviously, and I'm gonna say this again. If you're on here tonight and you want a consultation, you stuck out this entire time, make sure you hit us up, hit me up on Instagram, any way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm down to help you out, help you figure out your purpose in life, help you get fit mentally, physically. That's my thing. I help you out any way possible. So,
can you talk about this?
I'll do it real quick. I'll close out with that.
Okay. All right, cool.
I'll make it quick.
All right. I realized it's like, oh shoot, we didn't do that, and that was like one of the big ones.
That's all good. That's what she said. That's fine.
All right. So for me, the one thing I want to plug, I produce another show called Yes, Your Educational Story, and I'm really excited because we have a Grammy-nominated artist who's sharing her story. So we have Sherry Truth Hurts Watson. You might know her from the song Addictive. And so that is going to be airing live on Instagram this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can find it on m.smallhorn. That's SMALL. Actually, it's right there. SMALLHORNE. So if you want to check it out, it'll be on Instagram Live Friday at 8 p.m. So it should be a great story. I mean, we've been doing some really amazing stories. It's just that this one, we're starting to get a little big, so kind of cool. So yeah,
you're improving. Look at that, you working.
Yeah, man. Trying.
It's very dope.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
All right. Thank you, Robbie. All right, go ahead and do your thing.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can tie these two in together, and make this awesome outro. All right, so real quick, if you could pull that picture up, man, I want to talk to you guys real quick about hormones. Obviously, as you can see, I was a big fat guy with fat all over the place. Understanding how hormones work has been my latest amazing journey, right? Here's the thing about hormones. Your hormones control everything. They control your mood, they control your metabolism, they control how you think, and control how you feel. All right. So if you're holding on to fat in these particular areas, love handles underneath your armpits, basically your body saying that it can't get rid of enough fat fast enough, so it has to store it in particular areas. That could either mean your estrogen level is too low or your HGH is too low. Okay, one of these things are off. Okay, so you don't have enough of one, so your body says, I can't push this stuff out fast enough, and I got to put it somewhere. Okay, now here's the thing: a lot of times people joke around a lot and be, oh, you just hormonal, you get hormones all over the place, and they normally blame women. Say you guys are hormonal. Men have the same exact problem. If you're irritable, if you have if you have soft erections, for lack of a deeper term, your shit ain't getting hard enough. You're frustrated all the time. You have foggy brain. Some of the things that we like to blame women for, they saying they moody and all other stuff. Men go through the same exact thing. So if you hold on to fat in particular areas, it's a direct reflection of what's going on with your body. Okay, you hold on to the things and your emotions are not balanced. So the key to getting your emotions balanced is to do this. Okay, number one, stop stressing so much. Okay, stress releases cortisone. Cortisone goes into the body, converts all your sugars into fats, and it can't get rid of it fast enough, so it stores it. All right. Number two, stop eating processed foods. Processed foods only increase all of your estrogen level, okay, because your body can't produce it fast enough, so it converts everything over into estrogen, especially if your estrogen level is unnecessarily low. And third, and most importantly, do some good meditation. Like intentionally do some real meditation, do some self-reflecting to understand yourself. Once you understand yourself a little bit more, you'll be a lot more balanced. Balance is key. Okay, no, that's not the most important. Last thing is exercise. Exercise helps your body de-stress and detox all the unnecessary toxins in your body. Okay, so if you're not doing those 4 things, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have some type of hormonal issue, and you're going to be irritated, frustrated, can't get on hard. Then your life is going to suck.
Can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
If you had to put those in order of importance, I mean, I know they're all important, but like if like somebody's like, okay, what do I need to work on first? What would the order be if they were trying to like build up to like all 4?
Yeah, number one is stop stressing. Okay, and the best way, number one, the reason why you should stop stressing. Okay, again, the cortisone is the main thing. Cortisone is the hormone that releases into the body that goes into whatever is low, it increases it like crazy, right? And so you can stop stressing by at least getting some blood work done. At least find out where your hormones are at. That's the foundation to all this stuff. Okay, once you figure out where your hormones are at, then you have a good idea. And 9 times out of 10, it's the food that you're eating that's increasing or decreasing whatever is not going on or what is going on. Okay, so then you have to figure out what foods are doing what to your body. Processed foods, just cut it out altogether. Trust me, I've been studying this stuff for over a year now. As soon as you cut out processed foods, your hormones start to level out. Okay, so number one is to stop stressing, get some rest. That's the main thing.
And processed foods would be, I know I'm taking, I do clarify for people. So processed foods would be like things that come in bags.
Anything that comes in a bag, long story short. I mean, I can go through a list of all this stuff. If it comes in a bag and it's a name you can't pronounce, if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. You know what I mean? Because your body. Here's the thing: you can't pronounce it, and your body don't know what to do with it, so it stores it. And it's like your body's ability to store food is its defense mechanism. Okay, because it's trying its best to not to let it get into your gut, so it puts it in places where it can go. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it goes around your vital organs. So if it goes around your livers, around your kidneys, then it messes with your insulin. And once that happens, it goes back up into your thyroid gland. And once your thyroid gland start acting up, then everything is jacked up.
Nice. Thank you.
Stressed. Talk about that stressed. That backwards.
Yeah.
Stress, even though I spelled dessert, which how do I figure out again? Oh, so dessert is extra, so you add an S, right?
Yeah, you always want more dessert, so just remember you want
more S's.
S, yeah,
right. So desserts is technically, I'm sorry, stress.
You're right.
No, I said it right. Desserts is stress spelled backwards. You know what I mean? So you can literally just flip it around and it's stress. So you always wonder, like, why, when I'm stressed, do I want sweets? Like physically in your face, they have programmed this word to be synonymous and be the exact opposite of what you're going through. So you stress, you want desserts, and I always say, like, the system wins if they get your mind and program to do what they want it to do. You're stressed, eat food. Okay, cool. You eat these bad foods, you go to the hospital, you get sick, you're on medication, you gain weight, you get fat. Before you know it, they win, you lose, and you still stressed, and you still eating a bunch of shitty food that you can't pronounce.
Yo, man, the system is full.
Yeah.
I add one thing before we leave.
Go ahead.
One thing I hate
You know
is
anything about niggas.
people ask, "Can I ask you a question?" No. You just did. So you don't care about wondering if you can. Just if you could just add a word.
Be like,
say,
let me ask a question.
or yes, let's say, let me ask a question, or may I ask a clarifying question? You know what I'm saying? Because you already, I used to, oh man.
When you say, can I ask you a question? You already asked.
You just did.
You don't care about my response. Add that to my list.
You know what? You stop eating those desserts. You stressed right now.
Yeah. Put the cakes away.
So, all right, y'all. Well, we really appreciate everyone tuning in tonight to the Free Agents podcast. As always, please like, subscribe, and follow, notify, all that great stuff. Because we want to grow, and we can only grow if you help us to grow. So share the links, share the clips. We're going to get some more clips coming out, so it should be exciting. All right, until next Tuesday, we got a big announcement next Tuesday. Please make sure you tune in.
Much love, y'all.
Yeah. And yes, Robbie, you can go to the bathroom.
Peace, y'all. Peace. Where's the video? Where's the end video?
You got it? You need me to do it.
Where's it at?
It's
the ending video is not up.
Yeah, it is. It's called FA Pod End Screen. Right above the expectations video.
There we go. See y'all. Peace.
Behind the scenes, y'all.
Right. And we're still alive.